Hey everyone, it's Bradley. Welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you. If this is your first time here, please consider liking and subscribing. Even if it's your third or fourth, guys, liking the video really helps it get out there to more people. It lets me know that you like what I'm doing, and it keeps me moving forward always. Research it, mash it, boil it, ferment it, drink it, analyze it, share it. Homebrewing is good. This video is all about the RAPT Fermentation Control Chamber. That's a hell of a name, Keg Land, and by the way, it is produced and designed by Keg Land, but for the purpose of the video, we're gonna call it the RAPT Fermentation Chamber because it's easier to say, and honestly, I feel like its full name is a bit overstated. Clearly, temperature control is implied. I need to be honest up front. I was sent this product, this fermentation chamber, for review by Keg Land via Key himself directly, and I picked it up through More Beer, the US distributor. So Key, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Keep in mind that no money has been exchanged, and my opinion is not for sale. These thoughts are my own and my own experiences after using this device for now several months. Towards the end of the video, I'm going to tell you how you can win one of 5 pill hydrometers, as well as a Homebrewing is Good / Portly Gentleman cup. There will be 5 of these given away, courtesy of Keg Land. Thank you so much for helping out. Obviously, the cup I'm throwing in, I'm also covering shipping wherever you are in the world. So stay tuned to the end of the video where I tell you how to enter the win. What is a fermentation chamber? Quite simply, just like it sounds, it's a chamber that you can ferment in. A lot of times you'll see converted chest freezers or refrigerators. This one is a bespoke product, meaning it is designed specifically and intently for fermentations. It can also be used in a wide variety of other applications, such as cheese, because cheese is, good, maybe a little stinky at times. You can also use it for dry aging meat. If you want to see that, comment, because I'd love to show you what that's like. I love meat. You can also use it for mushrooms. You could use it for a humidor. You could use this thing as a wine fridge. Considering what's on the market available, this would actually be a quite powerful wine fridge, to be honest. You could also use it as a kegerator or a beverage fridge. There's all sort of optional racking components and parts available to use it for these other use cases. I know Keg Land is working on a ton of stuff. One of the key benefits and biggest selling points, in my opinion, based on my experience with the RAPT Fermentation Chamber, is its efficiency. It's a super efficient product, and that goes in terms of space as well as energy consumption. The RAPT Fermentation Chamber stands about 69.3 inches tall. I think that's about 5'7", kind of a short little guy. It's about 24 inches deep and about 21.25 inches wide. That's the outside dimensions. That's how much space it's going to take up in your brewery. Other DIY options, although they will work, are going to take up more space. A chest freezer, definitely depending on how big, is going to take up more floor space. A converted refrigerator itself is going to be bigger. I pretty much guarantee it. Going to take up more space in your brewery or your space. Who knows if you have the room or not. For me, space is at a premium. The internal dimensions are as follows. There's about 51.2 inches of height space inside of the fermentation chamber. It's 17.3 inches wide and 19.6 inches deep. All in all, that's gonna fit all Keg Land products, pretty much all of the Firmzillas, the all-rounders, gonna fit. It's also gonna fit lots of Conical fermenters that are available, most of them in that 14 to 15 gallon range or smaller, just depending. You'll have to measure yours. Comment below and I'll let you know if your fermenter will fit. Other part of efficiency is how much energy does this fermentation chamber use doing its thing, fermenting, cold crashing, whether you're going up to diacetyl rest, whatever it is. The chamber itself, I observed, with just the fan running, about 3.4, 3.5 watts. That's nothing, minimal load. It's super efficient in that aspect. Keep in mind this chamber is really insulated, purpose-built for this purpose. I've seen it when you're cold crashing. That's the most energy intensive part of anything you're doing. I've seen up to 94 watts and down to 70 watts. Just depends on how much load the compressor is kind of cycling through, but that's what I've seen. As far as heating, I've seen around 83 watts, and that's also really, really impressive. I recently cooled a 6.5 gallon batch from 75 degrees all the way down to 28. It took 0.9 kilowatts. It's less than 1 kilowatt, or around here in California, like 40 cents worth of power. So super efficient as far as energy and space. If you can't tell, one of the reasons why I really like this chamber. The system also has an integrated fan, which is quite powerful. It does make some noise. If you're filming YouTube videos like me, you just simply hit a switch and turn the fan off. The fan will come on by default whenever the system is heating. So if you really need it to be silent, also disable heating and the fan will not come on. But really, only in my use case, I think that matters. It's hardly noticeable. It doesn't bother me when I'm doing other things around here at all. It also has nicely included is an LED strip along the inside of the door that comes on whenever you open the door. You can toggle this off and on via the settings menu if it's too bright for you. It comes with one internal shelf. I believe it'll hold 150 pounds, but it's not holding me, that's for damn sure. Shown here, I have an optional drip tray that's sold separately. Just if you make a mess or anything, it's super nice to have it. I really recommend the accessory. It works great. And like I said, cleanup is key, although we'll talk later about some hidden and kind of unique features this guy has for cleaning and debris pickup within the vessel itself. It also comes with 2 sets of hinges. That way, if you want the door to open on the left side, you can do that, or it can open on the right. It's really nice to have this flexibility depending on your area of installation. If you've made it to this point in the video, I would really appreciate it if you would consider liking and subscribing. It means a lot. I have mine configured with pretty much all the optional extras you can get because I'm Bradley. Over here at the side of the unit, I have my spunning valve, and I'll use this to adjust pressure up or down. If I'm spunning inside of the chamber, I will hook on a ball lock here, and then I will vent that so I get to see bubbles when I'm pressure fermenting or spunning, which some say can't be done, but little ingenuity and Kegland hardware, it can be easily done. So if you want to see the bubbles to help you really dial in your pressure, that's one way to do it for sure. Over here on the other side, I have my pressure regulator. That's ideal for dialing in that carbonation pressure. You want to figure out how many volumes of CO2 are going in, dial in the pressure right there. This guy, I do have a digital gauge. I actually have digital gauges on both, but I honestly prefer the analog gauge on the spunning valve, but on the pressure valve, that optional digital gauge on that pressure regulator is the way to go in my opinion. On the top of the unit, on the right and left sides, right, left, and right top, as well as the top, like the tippy top, you can install a carbonation cap. You could also put them on the top facing straight up. I haven't shown this, but I imagine if you wanted to say, have a beverage outpost on the side and use it for a canning or bottling operation and just be able to hook up to it with your can filler, whatever else you're using to fill cans or bottles, that might make it super convenient to go right out of a unit tank into packaging. That's really nice. You don't have to move to a kegerator. It just gives you a lot of freedom, and it competes with everything else on the market in this aspect as far as ease of packaging product once you're finished fermenting it. Right now within the homebrew space, there's been a huge push for jacketed conical fermenters. I myself have a couple of them lying around. They are indeed the way to go, but that's a different video and a different topic for, quite frankly, a different time. There are some big downsides that people aren't telling you about because of lack of experience, or they just haven't experienced it yet based on the season with this large marketing push that we're seeing right now. Depending on your climate and season, your unit tank, if you're using a glycol chiller, could have significant condensation. A lot of them will also come with a neoprene jacket. Neoprene is great, it insulates well, but once it gets waterlogged, it does insulate less. It can also get quite moldy. Ask me how I know. And like I said, the amount of condensation that can come off of one of these unit tanks is a lot. You're talking, depending on your humidity, you could have several cups, up to like a half gallon a day. It can get kind of overwhelming. With this type of chamber, you won't have any of that problem. It's all held internally. If there is condensation, again, I'm going to show you where that likely is going to wind up. So that's a huge problem that this setup doesn't have. Honestly, if I had to do it all over again, I would consider getting a couple of these units instead of going the glycol chiller route. The glycol chiller route is great, they're awesome, but there are several downsides. Plumbing is the main one. Getting all the pumps and everything set up and plumbed up is a big investment, and it's a cost that you may not realize until you're already invested into that system. Honestly, the fermentation chamber route is looking more and more appealing to me. I also believe that Kegland is working on a model that is about half the size. Hopefully it will come in at a lower price point. The system itself has a really good looking stainless steel door. It has the RAPT logo nicely kind of laser etched into it. It looks super slick. The sides of the system are kind of a black crinkle finish, common on lots of refrigerators and kegerators, very widely seen. The front of the unit where the screen mounts is plastic. I wish it was a little bit, had a texture or something. It's just an aesthetic issue. The top of the system itself is plastic as well. I have mine used for storage because I have too much stuff. Both of the front right and left corner caps come off with 2 screws. Simply unscrew them. Again, I don't know if you need to put these back, but I do, but I don't think you do. And you're able to route hoses via this other little hatch that pops off the top, and you're able to route these hoses down into your chamber. It's super awesome to keep everything concealed. No need to drill holes to penetrate the vessel. I do wish there was a piece of insulation to plug that hole that would kind of go around the hoses. It's something that you can definitely add on your own, which I've added on mine. I kind of think Kegland should include it, not the end of the world. It's super easy to sort on your own, but it is one of those little things to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is that this is currently on sale at morebeer.com. They've lowered the price now for quite a while. I think it's a tremendous value. I recommend checking it out below. There is a link that I have supplied. Full disclosure, it's an affiliate link. I'll get a small commission. That's the best way to say thank you. Honestly, if I've helped you make a decision one way or another, is to use someone's affiliate links, especially mine. Let's be honest. The system is most powerful when paired with a pill hydrometer. These guys use Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. There are a couple things I'll run into right now about how to set it up the best way. You want to go into the settings and there is a sensor timeout function. You want to set that to about 300 seconds. And when running in Bluetooth, the pill should be set to 1 minute by default. You can make sure it's set up. Key has a really nice tutorial over at Kegland. He's going to show you the best way to set that up. But go into the control panel right here. We'll show you how to do it and change that function, and you're going to be just fine. Another thing I've also done is there is a temperature differential or threshold function. Basically, the concept is if you're using a pill hydrometer to monitor temperature as well as gravity, which is displayed on the screen, which is a really nice touch, basically it will take the internal sensor and this and say, oh wait, there's more than 10 degrees here. I'm not going to heat or cool because something's not right. In this instance, I have mine set at the maximum of 50 degrees. I found that when I'm cold crashing all the way down, because I just blast it straight down because I'm Bradley, that it will actually stop and take longer. So that's my tip. When cooling, it does help to take and turn down that temperature or turn it up to the maximum differential so the system just chills it all the way down without stopping. Optionally, there is also another temperature probe available. It's wired, and this one is designed for a thermal well. You can also just tape it on the side of your vessel. It plugs in the corner of the unit. There's a little kind of oval-shaped panel pop off. Reach inside and plug this in, and then this will give you another temperature point to reference if you're not using a pill hydrometer, or even if you are. If you really want to be concerned about the temperature right on your vessel, if you have a thermal well, this is a great way to do it. This piece is optional. It's about $4 at More Beer, which is a tremendous value. I highly recommend picking it up at the same time. It's just good to have. One of the coolest and we'll say secret features of the RAPT Fermentation Chamber is the front lower panel comes off. For shipping, it's held in place with a couple of screws. Back the screws out, discard them, you don't need them anymore. Then the front of this is held on by very strong magnets. So give it a good firm pull. It should pull right off. And inside you will be greeted with a plastic drain bin as well as a drain tube. Let me go find it. All right. So here's the cover. It's got the magnets on it. Again, it's plastic, nothing special, but it is held on by magnet. And then I'll go back. I'm going back. Here's the drain bin. Mine actually has a little bit of condensation in it and some gunk, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't smell yet. I spilled a little beer in there and other things from other things I've been doing. But yeah, it's kind of cool to clean it up. Everything will drain that direction, makes it super easy to clean, and just one little detail that is just, it's just that little bit above. It's real nice. One of the other things you'll see on my chamber is the red glow behind it. That is a set of strip lights. Now, I'm very particular about my lighting if you didn't know, so I'll drop a link to where you can get these strip lights and attach them to yourself. It makes for a cool look. It really makes this thing stand out as the centerpiece it should be in your brewery as it is in mine. The only downside is because of this thing's size, it does not ship for free here from Moorburg, United States. Honestly, the freight shipping is a better, safer option for refrigeration. Usually the FedEx guy in regular box in his truck throws it around. If it's going freight, they are far more careful. So I don't think it's a bad thing, but just keep in mind it will not ship for free with More Saver shipping. Another huge perk to Kegland working with More Beer here in the States is More Beer's customer service and return policy is epic. If you have any trouble, More Beer is going to take care of you, and that can't be said for all vendors. As it sits, I've used this thing for 5 fermentations. It's not a lot, but it's enough for me to tell you that I think it's a tremendous product and a great value. And like I said before, honestly, if I could do it all over again, I would consider stacking up 2 or 3 of these and calling a day as far as fermentation control. When paired with a pill hydrometer and the RAPT ecosystem, you can pull all the information up on your fermentation from the web. You can also set profiles, add profiles, and download profiles from the cloud that someone else has created or Kegland themselves have created. It's great. I truly think this is some of the most powerful fermentation control that is currently widely available. You can just go out and buy it, and you have a really powerful fermentation control system. In a separate video, I'm going to be going over the standalone control box. Maybe we'll set that up with a Trest freezer and kind of compare these 2 products and see how they do. Let's check out just kind of a quick look at a graph. Again, I've been doing a lot of testing, so I've turned things off and on, and it's been honestly all over the place. It's not the product, that's me just having my way with it, piddling around in there, trying to get a feel for it. But it has really useful graphs. You can look at compressor cycle time, you can watch specific gravity, it's going to track the alcohol percentage, it's going to try and predict that. There's a lot of cool stuff on the way. Kegland is working on some really interesting ways of really tracking the fermentation's progress and then being able to make temperature changes based on the actual fermentation's progress, if you will, or its speed, which is really interesting and will honestly, really, this stuff is powerful. I can't say how powerful this system is. It's really pushing the industry. Hopefully more people jump on board with similar type products, but as it is, I think Kegland is in the lead, and this is truly a powerful fermentation system. To enter the contest, it's super simple. You've got to subscribe to my channel, you have to like this video, you have to comment on this video, the country you live in, what you're going to use the pill hydrometer for, and what beer you're going to put in the Portly Gentleman glass first. That's it. On April 8th, I'm going to draw a winner. The video will follow shortly after. Well, I'll announce it. I'll be drawing the winner via random comment generator. All shipping is free. Anyone can enter worldwide. So thank you so much. Honestly, thanks to Kegland for giving me one of these guys to test out and run through its paces. Also, thank you so much for the pill hydrometers. These things are unobtainium right now in the United States. Good luck getting one. I have several more. There will be a future giveaway where I give away another 5, so stay tuned for that. As always, remember, I've been Bradley, homebrewing is good, and I'll see you real soon. Look good, feel good. Look good, feel good. All right, I'm ready for this. Yep. Am I getting bald? No, I'm not yet. Look at this white beard. Fuck, oh my God. How many times did I say powerful in the video? It's you know, there's a hard line of trying to, convey that I really think this is awesome and not oversell it. I'm not looking to sell it. I'm just looking to be honest and show my real excitement. I don't know if that shit comes through or not. The good. Really, the sumbitch works real nice. That's it. Research it, mash it, boil it, ferment it, drink it, analyze it, share it. Homebrewing is good.